So this is my first video since delivering the baby about 2 weeks ago. She's taking a nap right now, so I'm gonna try and be speedy, but I wanted to just share with y'all my postpartum essentials strictly for me and what has helped the healing process. I'm gonna be making all sorts of videos about, you know, my labor and delivery, all the things, but we're gonna start here. So I will say that the hospital gives you, or at least in America, the hospital gives you plenty of stuff to take home, but I do feel like you're gonna still need to buy things, or at least I did. I was on Amazon, I feel like every day ordering different things, and one of them being disposable underwear. I absolutely loved these, the Freedom Mom disposable postpartum underwear, specifically in the boys short briefs. I actually had someone give me the Freedom Mom like postpartum kit that had like 4 of these in there, and I love them so much I repurchased a whole box. But they're super comfortable, really stretchy, and you just feel like supported in the best way possible. Like it's not too tight. I will say I had a vaginal delivery, so maybe these things would look different if I did have a C-section, but vaginal delivery, all the things I'm sharing with you have been absolutely wonderful. And I will say on Amazon, people that reviewed these were saying how they're a little pricey for what they are, but like, girlfriend, you're only gonna be in disposable underwear for like 2 weeks, and now is not the time to cut corners. Like, I'm as frugal as all get out, but when you are recovering down there, not the time to cut corners. You buy whatever you need to buy to be comfortable. So I think I'm wearing my last pair of those currently, so I don't have one to show you, but I think I'm officially graduating to granny panties after today. So these are just Fruit of the Loom cotton high cuts. Yeah, we're not going back into thongs anytime soon because I've got to wear pads. So having some granny panties on hand, I think just ready to go, is super essential. If not, again, Amazon exists. So whatever you don't end up having, you can have, you know, within 2 days. So I purchased the Always Discreet postpartum pads. I could not find these at my local grocery store. I ended up having to purchase these at Target, but luckily I had purchased these beforehand, and this is my second purchase. I will say you go through pads like no other. When it comes to the disposable underwear, I just wore one per day and then would, you know, put on a new pair just like regular underwear each day. These pads, they may say 12-hour protection, but like the amount of fluids you leak out after delivery is kind of wild. So you're going through quite a few of these. I would just honestly buy 2 packs of these so you're good to go, because the fact that there's 57 in here and I've already used that much within 2 weeks is crazy. But yeah, so highly recommend those. Find them at Target. The next thing for down there is in that Freedom Mom postpartum kit, it was kind of like a collection of different items. And this was one that I really liked and I think is worth it, is the Perennial Relief Foam. It instantly cools down there, and it is for postpartum and hemorrhoidal relief. I really liked this. I kind of, every time I went to the bathroom, would do a different like cocktail version of just something to help me down there, whether it be this foam. Another thing that was included in that kit, which I don't really recommend, I think it's a pass, was their version of witch hazel pads. I'll post a little picture right here. Didn't love them. I think these are way better, and this is actually what the hospital sent home with me, and I bought more on Amazon, so pass on those, but definitely get these. It's AER Anal Episiotomy Relief, and they're 40 pre-moistened witch hazel pads. I usually take 2 of these, I fold them in half and align them on my pad, and it is just so wonderful. Like, it's so cooling. It makes you feel so much better down there. So definitely recommend these, and they're really cheap. Again, buy them on Amazon. Another product, I actually didn't end up purchasing this. This was sent home with me from the hospital, but it's Dermaplast Pain, Burn, and Itch. Relieves pain from minor cuts and scrapes, burns, sunburns, and bug bites. So I did tear down there. We'll get into it in that labor delivery video. But like, it's empty, okay? But at this point in my healing journey, I don't really feel like I need to buy another one of these. So I did want to save it for y'all in this video, but if your hospital doesn't send you home with this, or maybe if you don't tear, you don't need it, but I really feel like this helped a ton. Also, I ended up purchasing this. It's still in the box. She's getting returned because this is what the hospital gives you. And I feel like it's more than enough. I'm not really sure what the whole hoopla is about this other than like maybe just conveniency, but this is fine. Okay, warm that water up. You want warm water when you put it in here. Like, I wouldn't say almost hot, but to get the most relief while you're peeing during recovery, you're gonna want it pretty warm. And yeah, you just, you know, squirt while you're going to the bathroom. I'm returning this. It was only $13, but like, again, it was, I feel like just pass. You don't need it. So the next thing I'm gonna recommend is extra strength Tylenol. I still had like my low dose Tylenol from whenever I was pregnant. I would sometimes use it on occasion, but they did prescribe me with hydrocodone and ibuprofen, and I really just didn't want to touch the hydrocodone. I did one time because it was just so bad down there, but for the most part I was able to just get away with doing that ibuprofen as well as 2 of these together to manage that pain down there, because it is quite intense, more so towards the end of the day. But that's really the only medicine I'm going to recommend, because really you should be doing whatever your doctor tells you to do, and that was something they got me on in the hospital, was the ibuprofen with the 2 Tylenol. So I just continued it while I was home. And then these nursing bras, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but everything's going to be linked below as much as I can. Pretty much everything's from Amazon except those pads. But these nursing bras I bought literally after my first trimester because my boobs had grown the most, surprisingly, during the first trimester, and then I feel like they held their size after. But all I did was remove the pad inserts because, you know, when you're breastfeeding, if you're going on that journey, you're gonna have, you know, nipple covers or nipple pads that you're just gonna wanna put in. And like pad on top of pad is just this little too much, okay? We're not trying to stuff our bras here. Really cheap. They've lasted, I mean, not a year, but pretty close, because I used it all during pregnancy and then now during breastfeeding. But they have the little clips that fold down, so it's easy access, really easy to use. I think it's like a pack of like 4 or 6 of them. And then those nipple pad cover things I was talking about, they're reusable. I hate being wasteful, so I really wanted to find, my hair is being crazy, a reusable option, and I've really liked them thus far. I did buy 2 packs of them because I was like, I feel like I'm gonna be going through them. And they come with like this case. Does anyone else just hate Chevron? I freaking hate Chevron, the print. But anyways, they come with this case to store them in, and then they also come with the washing case so that you can keep them all together in the washer. So basically, as I get out of the shower, pop 2 new ones in, pop the old ones in here, ready to go. And that's kind of how I do that. And then nipple cream, I really haven't used this but maybe 3 or 4 times, and really in that first week as your nipples are adjusting to having, you know, someone feed off of them. But it soothes and protects sore nipples. So I will say, if you are breastfeeding, give it some time. Again, I only had to use this a few times, but it's one of those products where you want to already have on hand. This is not something where you're already in pain or discomfort and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to order off Amazon and it gets here in 2 days. You're like, no girl, I need that now. So this is something I say just go ahead and buy beforehand so you have it ready to go in case you need it. But I really haven't used it much in the last week. And then the last 2 postpartum essentials is a water bottle. Again, if you are breastfeeding, water is essential to that, like to your supply. If you don't drink water, you're not going to make enough milk. And even then you still might not make enough. But this is from Amazon. I have 2 of these. This is the only water bottle I use, mainly because I like that I don't have to screw off the cap. I just flip it open, and there's a little hole at the top that allows for you to like get down more water without it either creating like a suction vacuum. Oh, is she waking up? I'm gonna have to wrap this up real quick. But it lets the water come down easier, and I'm not someone that likes water, but this has been a water bottle I've used now for like 5-6 years, and it's been the only one I drink the most out of. So highly recommend that. You should be aiming for like about 1 gallon a day. And then also what I bought was electrolyte powder. This is the Dr. Berg Tropical Coconut Pineapple and Orange flavor. I really wanted to buy the Element powders. They're individual serving sizes, and they're kind of all over YouTube, at least in the mom space of things. However, I just could not get down with the price. Like, per serving. They are quite expensive. And so I was like, I don't really need the individual pouches. Like, I'm gonna be home. So I just wanted something that came with a scoop, just like a protein powder would. And so every day, my first water of the day starts with this. It helps just get that first bottle down, because anything that doesn't taste like water, I can put down real quick, but water is really difficult for me. Flavor is pretty good. I don't think I'll reach out and do anything else, because I did look at the other flavors they offer and they were just like mixed reviews. But this one sounded the best, and it's also summertime, or about to be, so I wanted something summery, you know what I mean? Maybe if it was winter, I'd feel differently. But I think, let me make sure I got it. Oh, one last thing. I was stacking on top of it, I almost missed it. A donut pillow, okay? This is one of those things, I think C-section or not, I don't know, I can't speak on that. But this is one of those things I think you need to have from day dot. Like from day one, you need to have a donut pillow, because I ordered this off of Amazon, so it was there, I think, like the next day I got home or something, but it makes the world of a difference. I put this in the chair, on the couch. I don't really use this on my bed because my bed's already a little too high for me to like get on with the baby, let alone add this, you know, pad to it. But especially if I'm driving, I have driven some in the past week or so. This is a lifesaver. I cannot stress this enough. It just takes, you know, relief off of that area that's obviously still healing. And then the last thing I wanted to mention was just to have some towels that are not white, that you do not care about getting ruined. Because especially in that first week, at least for me, there is some leakage going on. Despite having, you know, disposable underwear, pad, changing frequently, there are gonna be times where you just leak. And it's only happened to me twice, but I just think it's one of those things, you know, better safe than sorry. Lay down a towel or lay down like a puppy pee pad when you're sleeping. And then also wherever you're sitting during the day. Again, it only happened to me twice where I did have like a leak out, but something to think about. Also, when you're showering, you're not gonna wanna be drying yourself with a white towel, because again, there's blood, there's different things going on down there. So just something to think about so you don't ruin your nice towels. But I think that's it. So I cannot wait to get back in the groove of things. I already feel so much better just like making this video and, you know, having something else to focus on, I guess, to feel more like myself. But I'm so excited to share with y'all everything that's happened in the past 2 weeks. And yeah, that's it for this video. Again, everything will be linked below, but I hope you enjoyed it.